It is absolutely ridiculous to expect someone to look at your person with high regard simply because they're yours. It is further unreasonable to expect someone to not be honest about their feelings about your person simply because they're yours and the relationship doesn't matter. And someone is already mad and saying, nah, Passion, you wrong. There are exceptions to this rule. I don't care what you say. And the point is, turn your feelings off and listen to logic. If there are exceptions and exemptions because it's your person, your mother, your sibling, your friend, then there are exceptions and exemptions across the board. Because as we just stated, everybody is somebody's somebody. Passionate. Let me tell you something. So what is this Passion PSA podcast? Who am I? Well, they call me Passion, short for passion, no last necessary. Why is there no last name necessary? Because the first name says it all. I am Passion and all that embodies. What do I do here? I give you the life coaching that you know you need, but don't enroll yourself in. When did I start? Actually, 2017. I'd leave a PSA on my Instagram regarding something I'd observed, and now we've evolved to this. Why do I do it? Why not? If even one person is able to take away one thing that changes their life, someone else's life, or changes the world for the better, then I've done what I was charged to do. So come on in, sit and listen for a while. There's something here for everyone at the Passion PSA podcast. Greetings and salutations, my beloved Passionates, newcomers, visitors, and guests. Welcome to another episode of the Passion PSA podcast, where I, Passion, no last necessary, your Get You Right guru, issue a weekly public service announcement about whatever I've observed or was on my mind. This is a for your consideration zone where the objective is to offer you a perspective you may not have previously considered to A, expand your thinking, and B, aid you in becoming a better version of yourself, for yourself, and for others. This is a safe space, but not necessarily a delicate one. I'll never rob you of your right to feel what you feel, the same way I won't sugarcoat the truth to make it more palatable. The goal is to get you to higher, more expanded thinking so that you can operate as your highest and best self. If you're new here, affirmations are our first order of business so that we can intentionally raise the vibration and start on one accord. So let's get on the same frequency. If you are ready, go ahead, take a deep breath. You are always welcome to repeat after me or to take this time to state your own affirmations. I am accountable. I am responsible. I am an excellent role model. I am an excellent example. I am uplifting. I am encouraging. I am edifying. I am a builder. I carry myself with dignity. I am a beacon of light. I set standards and uphold them. I am growing in grace. I grow others with grace. I am well. It is well. All is well. Well is all. Ashe, ashe, ashe. So Passion is, once upon a time I left work on my lunch break to go pick up the food that I'd ordered. Now, had it only been my lunch I was picking up, I wouldn't have been so pressed about getting there and back. But I was picking up for me and someone else who had limited time to eat, and I wanted them to be able to get their food. I came out of the parking lot, and instead of cutting through the parking lot across the street, I turned and went towards the stoplight. There's a group of youths standing at the bus stop, and they're horse playing or whatever. One of them throws something at my car. Now, had it not been for the fact that time really wasn't on my side, I would have definitely stopped the car and made a scene. There was a police vehicle not that far away, so I definitely could have made a production out of it. I kept it moving instead. Needless to say, I was on fire the entire time I was driving to the restaurant, and I thought this was something that we should talk about. These kids were all under 18. They probably thought it was funny. They probably didn't think that someone could have gotten hurt. Maybe they knew that someone could have gotten hurt and just didn't care. They probably didn't think that this could have turned into a police matter in seconds. They probably didn't think that my car was worth the concern because it's an old car. And at the end of all of that is the one commonality they probably didn't think. And as an adult, the onus is on me to extend grace to the youths because they're still in their formative years and their prefrontal cortices aren't fully developed and they're just having a little fun, and every other accommodation that we feel should be granted to those we want mercy for. Also, as an adult, A ding, a scratch, a dent would have become my financial burden. If the window would have broken or I would have been hurt, I would have been responsible for my rescue and the repairs. And this still involves an unnecessary financial responsibility not created by me. And had I gotten out and addressed any of these kids, it's a guarantee there would have been at least one parent, albeit no adults were present at the time. There would have been one parent who would have had a problem with me speaking to an out-of-order youth because they're mine. I worked in after school with children from 6th grade to high school. I've cared for children from newborn to 90. And I mean that very literally, and not because I worked with a differently abled community, right? But because a lot of physically grown people are neither mentally nor emotionally mature until their minutes to death, but they love waving the banner of adulthood. Even in positions where correction and direction are actual requisites of your job, teachers, coaches, administrators, there are always those that feel like you're out of bounds to correct their children because they're theirs. They don't want you to talk to their so-and-so like that because that's their so-and-so. And if their so-and-so needs addressing, then they should be the one to do it. That's their logic. And I get it. And I get the why, especially if their so-and-so requires special handling. But some just feel like their possession of a person, their relationship or attachment to or with that person better or further qualifies them to handle their so-and-so. But there are issues with that. If you don't think it was problematic, how exactly will you address it? Can we agree that most of us respond differently when something happens directly to us? So if your child puts me in potential danger, but nothing really dangerous happens, can we be honest and say that while my concern is that it should not have happened at all, your position is probably, okay, something could have happened, but nothing did, so take it down 1,000. Can we also be honest and say that if it were your car, and my child, that calm, it's not that serious, that calm position would not begin to pacify you because of all the what ifs and the fact that something intentional happened when nothing should have happened at all. And really, that's the bigger issue. Can we be honest about passivity when we don't feel like it's a big deal or we just don't feel like being bothered? So we handle it with a lazy stop or don't do that. Meanwhile, we're using the least amount of effort and energy with people or in situations that require full-on aggression to effectively communicate, this is a problem, it needs to stop, and if it doesn't, there are consequences. Are we ready to be that honest? You don't want to be spoken to crazy because you demand your respect. You don't want your kid spoken to crazy because it's your kid. So you want a certain kind of handlement for you and yours. But if we're focusing on possession, when do we talk about the inefficacy of your child rearing? The last 2 episodes, we talked about how you talk to people. When do you take ownership of your poor communication skills? How come possession isn't the priority when it comes to correcting yourself? And passionates, while it is understood that protection is one of the main reasons that this is even a conflict, right? A new issue is created when the familial relationship conflicts with the interpersonal. And I want us to take a close look at this because this is where a lot of us can relate and most of us need to do a thorough evaluation. So Kia meets Kendra. Kia doesn't like Kendra. Kia's experience with Kendra has been awful. Kendra has been dishonest, disrespectful, and discourteous. Kia actually wants to knock Kendra's block off her shoulders. Kia is vocal about this to her friend, Kelly. Kelly and Kendra are sisters. Kelly also wants to knock Kendra's head into a wall and complains to Kia regularly. And while Kelly berates, denigrates, and violates her sister, she has a problem with Kia saying the exact same things because it's her sister. Herein lies the problem. Now put your thinking caps on and put your feelings in your pocket because I'm going to really stretch you today. The first thing, everybody is somebody's somebody. Everyone is someone's daughter or son, if nothing else. Whether you think they were raised well or not, every actual human, every real person, if you know, you know, has parents. Contributions from 2 parties were required to create this person, even if only one party participated in the upbringing. That said, because they're yours is not reason enough to give people passes when they're out of pocket, out of order, or out of line. It's also not a solid basis to hand off the torch of correction. It is absolutely ridiculous to expect someone to look at your person with high regard simply because they're yours. It is further unreasonable to expect someone to not be honest about their feelings about your person simply because they're yours and the relationship doesn't matter. And someone is already mad and saying, nah, Passion, you wrong. There are exceptions to this rule. I don't care what you say. And the point is, turn your feelings off and listen to logic. If there are exceptions and exemptions because it's your person, your mother, your sibling, your friend, then there are exceptions and exemptions across the board. Because as we just stated, everybody is somebody's somebody. Because at minimum, everybody is somebody's child, which means no one should be talking crazy about anyone. No one should complain about anyone. And that also means that people who have no close relatives to speak to them correctively will, or at minimum can, run around lawless. Passion, what are you talking about? I'm talking about the cognitive dissonance we use when we demand that people not speak ill of our loved ones that we ourselves speak less than favorably of. Okay, but if this is my relative, you shouldn't even want to talk crazy about them. And here we are, back at the justification being because they're yours. You don't want someone to talk about your mother disrespectfully, right? And that's because she's your mother, right? Well, not necessarily. Now watch how the justification gets skewed so you don't have to feel like you're wrong. It's not just because she's my mother. She's an elder, she's a mother, and she's a person. Yup, and so is that lady that you called the stupid biz naive when she let the door go in your face. So again, it's wrong for person A to have and voice a problem with this individual with whom they had an experience, but it's justified when you have a problem because you don't know if they have offspring or who their parents are? Well, no, but if you're my friend. And here we come back to the point of possession. If A is a random and they have a problem, a negative encounter, a nasty taste in their mouth with from due to this person who happens to be your relative, as long as they don't voice it within range of your hearing or as long as you never find out about it, it's okay. But if they voice it and you can hear it, it's a problem. But it's a problem primarily and mainly because of your relationship to them, which now supersedes the action in question which got y'all here in the first place. Okay, I hear what you're saying, but still, I don't take kindly to disrespect and I won't tolerate someone talking about my people crazy. The question then is, why isn't the focus on the behavior? Why is the focus on the relationship with the person behaving badly? Also, if you don't take kindly to disrespect, why is disrespect your first response when someone does something that displeases you? They're stupid, they're ugly, they're fat, they're broke, they're whack, they're a bum, they're toothless, they're dirty. They're everything but a creation of the Most High and somebody's offspring. And these are your first thoughts. Not that their action was problematic, but that their very existence should be questioned and reviewed because they disturbed you in some way. But they're somebody's mind. So why is the disrespect unacceptable for your mind, but it's fair game for anybody else's? So, Passion, you never went off on anybody or said something sideways about somebody? Sure did. Sure do. Ask anybody who's been my shotgun passenger or been on the phone with me when I'm driving. And I know I'm wrong for it. I know I can do better, and I'm working on it. Very, 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 very slowly. Because the way people be failing at driving and aggravating me. And I told y'all about the calls I get day to day. And again, someone is going to think I'm crazy for this. But did we not just talk about giving what you want to get for 2 weeks? You want the freedom to express yourself however you see fit in the moment. And whoever catches the stray in the process, oh well, right? That's what you're giving, right? So if we're operating according to the universal law of give to receive, and we're operating according to the golden rule, which is to treat others the way we want to be treated, what you're giving is disrespect. So that must be what you want to receive, right? And the way you're treating this person is the way you want to be treated, right? Go a step further, you want your person treated and spoken of with respect, right? So why aren't you role modeling the behavior? That's not fair, Passion. If I'm venting my frustration to you, you shouldn't be trying to hold it against me. I'm not. I'm saying you love them, right? I don't even like them. So if you love them and you speak about them like that, why should the onus be on me to speak of them better? If you hold them in high regard, why are you speaking of them that way, especially because they're yours? But I don't really mean it. I'm just letting off steam. And that may be true. But at what point do you take responsibility in your evolution to stop throwing words around carelessly? If that's not what you meant, why is that what you said? Why do you believe that words have power until you use hateful, hurtful words against or about someone you wouldn't want to hurt or wouldn't want to hate you? You trying to walk on the edge of the coin, but you have to pick a side, friend. A big part of the problem is how we've been socialized from birth. For far too long, we've been participating in a system where if someone declares some type of love, some type of care or concern for someone else, that gives them the authority to speak to and about that person however they feel. A lot of the authority figures in our lives, the teachers, the coaches, even the counselors, they were rough with us. But if we ultimately got good results out of it, we accepted it as a necessary evil to bring out the best of us, right? Many of our parents handled us that way. They said mean, hateful, hurtful, damaging things, and then told us that they loved us and tried to spin it like it was par for the course. It was broken people, broken by other broken people, making people and breaking them too. A lot of it was unconscious revenge being exacted on children for anger and resentment toward abusive parents. Huh? Because somebody didn't hear me talking right there. I said a lot of it was revenge being exacted on children for anger and resentment toward abusive parents. They couldn't clap their parents, so they patiently awaited the day when they would have their turn to say and do horrible things and demand to be honored and loved. Passion, that's crazy. Nobody thinks like that. Right, because no one ever said, when I have kids, if my kids do X, Y, Z, None of us have parents now that tell us that their parents were way worse. So we should be grateful for what we get or what we got. None of us are parents now repeating the cycle, right? I imagined it all up. The point is, it's not lost on me that the roots of this behavior are long and deep. And as much as that's not lost on me, I can't give you a pass when you make pretend you don't see how it's problematic. Now, back to Kia, Kendra, and Kelly. If Kelly and Kendra weren't related, Kelly may have already beat the brakes off Kendra. So if Kendra wasn't Kelly's sister and Kia said, let's push this motherfucker back, Blue, then Kia's feelings would be valid. Kia's rage and disgust would now be okay. Kia doesn't dislike Kendra because of her family ties. We know stories where that's a thing, but this ain't that. Kia dislikes Kendra because Kendra is an insolent gutter snipe who makes people want to smack her face inside out. Kelly and Kendra can be related all they want. Kelly won't always be around. And even if Kia decides to forego the town square flogging that Kendra has undoubtedly earned, everybody ain't Kia. And Kelly's, oh, that's my so-and-so logic won't always be enough, and it shouldn't be. Especially if or since the way Kelly speaks of Kendra is downright contumelious. Go look that one up. Now, we have talked about the parents thinking their children should be the exception, the children thinking their parents should be the exception, and the siblings. We didn't talk about two other groups. We didn't talk about friends, and we didn't speak expressly to the kings. So we're going to start with friends. Beloved, your friend could have cared for your sick parent, given you a kidney, and raised your children while you were recovering. Very much like Kendra, Kelly, Kia, you cannot demand or expect respect for someone from someone who doesn't respect that person. They're amazing to you. They're important to you. They're good to you. To your other friend, they're other. And whatever other category friend B puts friend A in, you have to respect that. And it would be selfish of you to try to give the one who doesn't like the other any kind of ultimatum. You want both your friends there, but your friends don't like each other. Somebody got to sit this one out, regardless of the occasion, unless they mutually agree to be there. This used to matter from years ago is a non-factor in my life at this point. I don't have nice things to say, and that's not the reason I don't say much about them. I don't feel like they deserve any acknowledgement. At this point in the juncture, they are totally irrelevant. Now, I have a friend who loves this person dearly. My friend can't ask me to say a kind word about used to matter. My friend can't ask me to engage with this person if they get married and we're both in the bridal party. If my friend pleaded with me and said, well, this would mean so much to me, if the answer is 1,000,000,000% no. It's not about their day. It's not about their feelings. It's about my peace. I love friend, But I choose me. And that's after years of sacrificing me resentfully. This is after years of sacrificing me with no reciprocity. So if you are torn between whether you should choose you or friend, ask yourself these questions, not just to arrive at an answer, but should you ever find yourself between this rock and hard place and a friend asks you why, you can lay it out just like this. I can't or won't because of all of the aforementioned. I love you, so I won't allow our friendship to be jeopardized over an event. I really hate to even shine a light on the next group because I do my best to not participate in divisive conversation. But, man, do I even really need to say it? If she's your lady, your girl, your woman, your partner, your wife, your mother, your daughter, your sister, your niece, she's off limits for disrespect. Don't look at her. Don't talk to her. Don't talk about her that way because she's mine. Which translates to, if I don't claim her, I don't care how you handle her. I only care about that or those that I claim. But any other woman, you can see her out here being violated on a regular and consistent basis, and you laugh or participate in it. And it's a struggle for you to even refer to her as a person as opposed to a gender. You demand to be called man, but your counterpart is a female, not a woman. And female is the most respect you can offer. Otherwise, she's referred to as some type of animal or object. And these are the people you want to uphold and exalt you. The ones that you can't even consistently refer to as people. The ones for whom the respect you have to offer is conditional and circumstantial. I didn't come here to war, King, but deep thought will often put you in a battle with your ego. Listen, Passionates, I know I'm not talking to all of you. I also know I'm talking to a whole bunch of you that are in denial. I know it's easy to default to disrespect. Sarcasm is hilarious. Snapping on people entertains us and others, and that's a real thing. And it's a real choice. How we speak about the people we love is a choice. And if you have the right to choose to speak about them however you feel, so does anyone else who encounters them. If you're in the group who doesn't make disparaging comments about your loved ones, no matter how frustrated you are, you still don't get to dictate how someone else feels about them. You can absolutely let them know you won't tolerate them disrespecting your loved one, but you can't make them think any more of them than their experience has impacted them. You can't make them have nice things to say. You can give a friendly warning that if they don't have anything nice to say, they need to reserve it for different company, but that's about it. Them being yours is immaterial. If you love them, temper how you speak about them. Advise them that other people aren't going to temper what they have to say, especially if their behavior warrants any type of barrage of reproachful vocabulary. Check them when they're out of order, regardless of how they respond. So if they do go in the world acting crazy, you know you gave them fair warning and wise counsel. So if they do get dealt with when they're outside, you know you did your part. I just watched a reel where you could only see the male teacher, but you could hear the young lady in the background that he was going back and forth with. She was 1,000% out of pocket for carrying on the way she was. Everybody speculating on whether he was wrong for what he said because he definitely said something wild. I don't care how she was behaving. I don't care what she was saying. Don't talk to my child like that. Is why so many of these youth feel entitled to behave poorly and be destructive. Because that one's yours and you're doing everything you can to make sure they are a model citizen, they should have represented you better so no one would feel like they need to address yours. Like the kids at the bus stop. I could be wrong, but I'm not. Think about it. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you want to debate it, let me know when and we can go live and talk it out. If not, just hit the thumbs up, drop a comment or some megaphones. Send a listener letter to greetings@whatonewomandoes.com. Donations can be made via Linktree, PayPal, or Podbean. Every little bit helps and helps me help others help themselves. That's it and that's all, beloveds. You Get You Right Guru is signing off. Y'all go forth, be great, be filled with bliss, be armed and empowered with knowledge. Handle yours before yours get handled. Handle yours with care if you care about yours. In all things, be passionate. See you later.